Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. Those of you that are new to my channel, my name is Maria, and today I'm going to be trying out the newly released, the limited edition, the Tom Ford lipsticks, and I'll also be showing you one of the newly released fragrances that I picked up. The fragrance that I picked up is Rose De Rossi because it had the leather scent in it as well as a few others, and I really love the Tom Ford ombre leather, so that's the one I decided to pick up. But first, let's take a look at the lipsticks. This is the Private Rose Garden collection. They are black and white packaging, and this is what the cases of the lipsticks look like, the black and white, and on the top of the lid you've got the Tom Ford logo with the Tom Ford logo in white and the rest in black as well. So these came in three shades. They are Rose De Malfi, Rose De Sheen and Rose De Rossi. These are supposed to be a satin matte formula, and although they have the same name as the fragrances, they don't smell like the fragrances, so they're just supposed to sit alongside the fragrances that came out. They have the same smell as other Tom Ford lipsticks. So just to show you the differences with the packaging, here is the new one, and this is just a typical Tom Ford lipstick. So you can see this one is slightly thinner and just a little bit taller than the normal one. These lipsticks just have a normal clip closure, all very secure. These are made in Italy, and each lipstick has 3.3 grams of product. So I'll do swatches of these lipsticks first before I try them on. Now, I have had a chance to wear one of these lipsticks. I wore it yesterday and I wore it throughout the day. They are a satin matte type formula, just like they say they are. They're not like a true matte that dries down. They are a really beautiful formula. I found that these lasted on me before I had to retouch round about 5 hours. So we'll start off with number 53, and this is Rose De Malfi. And next is number 54, and this is Rose De Sheen. So you can see I'm doing a couple of swipes, but they are very pigmented. And the last one is number 55, Rose De Rossi. So I've just turned down the lights a bit in front of me just so you can get a good look at these. The first one, Rose De Malfi, is like a nude rose. And then Rose De Sheen, it's sort of like a salmon pink, not quite. And then the last one, Rose De Rossi, is supposed to be like a warm berry hue. It's a very vibrant colour, and I would say that this has a little bit of pink in it as well. So just before I put these on, I'll take the lipstick off that I've got on at the moment. The one that I've got on at the moment isn't one of these. This is a Victoria Beckham lipstick, and I think it's in the shade Girl. So I'm just going to take this lipstick off. So we'll start off with number 53. This is Rose De Malfi. Next is number 54, and this one is Rose De Sheen. And then finally is number 55. This is Rose De Rossi. So as I said before, these are a satin matte formula. So they would have a bit more wear than a satin type of lipstick, and satin lipsticks are the sort of lipsticks that I do tend to wear every day. These go on silky smooth on the lips. I think they are beautiful. I did about 2 swipes to get the pigment that I wanted, and in between, when I was taking the lipstick off trying these, had to work quite hard to get the lipsticks off. They didn't just come off with one swipe. I had to go over at least 3 times to get the pigment off. So the pigment is definitely there, and as I said, I get about 5 hours wear out of these lipsticks. I think they are beautiful. I really love all the colors. I didn't think I was going to be too sure about this color, and this is the first time that I've tried this shade today while I'm doing this video, and I actually really like it. I think it is a beautiful color. It's really, really gorgeous. It's definitely the most bold out of the 3, but it is really, really pretty. And the other 2 shades are gorgeous as well. The other 2 are probably more of my everyday type of shades that I would wear, but all 3 are really, really beautiful. So really, just as you would expect with a lipstick that says it's a satin matte formula, it doesn't completely dry down like a matte lipstick, and it just hasn't quite got that slip as a satin lipstick either, but certainly feels silky. I think that this formula is really, really beautiful. I haven't got another lipstick, and I have quite a few lipsticks, and I don't think that I've got another lipstick in my collection that feels like this one. This is really, really beautiful. I really love this formula. So I'm hoping that Tom Ford will bring out more in this formula, because I would definitely buy some more. So now let's take a look at the fragrance that I picked up. As I said at the beginning of the video, Tom Ford released 3 new fragrances just in time for Valentine's Day, and they have the same name as the lipsticks: the Rose De Malfi, the Rose De Sheen, and the Rose De Rossi. And the Rose De Rossi is the one that I picked up. These fragrances are called the Rose Garden Private Collection. Now, each of these 3 fragrances, as well as the 50ml bottles that they come in, you can also pick up a travel set that has the 3 scents in it, and also comes with an atomizer as well. And that is what I would have picked up, but the place that is selling these is 2.5 hours from where I lived. So I just had a look at the notes of the fragrances and had a guess as to which one that I'd probably like, and that's the one I got. The ones that are in the travel set are called the Private Blend Roses Fragrance Travel Set and Atomizer. So this is the packaging that Rose De Rossi came in. It has the 50ml of product. This is a eau de parfum, and these are made in the USA. Well, this fragrance is, so I imagine the other 2 are as well. So the fragrance description, it says it's an opulent, darkly dramatic rose. Rose De Rossi conjures an extravagant bloom seduced by white pepper, woods, and dark as midnight Russian leather. And it also says, evoking the extravagant allure of night, Rose De Rossi merges an exquisite rose-on-rose distillation with the vibrancy of spicy white pepper oil and woods, while passionately sexy, supple black leather begs to be touched. So inside the packaging, here is the bottle, and it really is a gorgeous looking bottle, and the color of the fragrance is a beautiful magenta, and you have the black and white, just a matte label on the front, and then on the very edge of the bottle is, I don't know whether you can see it, but there is the Tom Ford writing as well. So here is the bottle outside of the packaging, and it is the typical Tom Ford. Well, a lot of his fragrance come in this shaped bottle and the same sort of cap. But I do really love that magenta hue of the fragrance. I think it looks really, really beautiful and is going to look gorgeous on my shelf with all my other fragrances. And the top notes in this fragrance is white pepper, and the middle note is roses, and then the base note is woody and leather. And that's one of the reasons why I decided to choose this fragrance out of the three, since I couldn't smell any of them in person, since the shop that sells them is so far away, because I really like the Tom Ford Ombre Leather. I got a travel size spray in that, and I wear it a lot. I think it is really, really beautiful. I have worn this fragrance twice, once on the day that I got it and also yesterday. So I've been able to wear this fragrance. The first time was probably just for a few hours, and then yesterday I wore it all day. But I haven't got it on today. I'm about to spray it on my arm so I can try and give you an accurate description of what it smells like when it first goes on, but I can definitely tell you how it lasts throughout the day and what smell lingers throughout the day as well. So I'm just going to spray some on the inside of my arm. And when you first put it on, you definitely get that hit of that white pepper. Now after a few minutes that does sort of dissipate, and then you can start to smell the rose and then the leather as well, and now I can start to smell them. So that happens quite quickly. So initially you might think, oh, you know, it smells white pepper, and it is quite a spicy sort of scent. But now I can smell that woody scent and definitely that leather, and the middle notes of the rose is definitely there as well. It's quite subtle, and I think how I would describe it is you definitely get that scent of like the Tom Ford Ombre Leather, but I think the rose scent in this softens it a bit, if that makes any sense. But it definitely softens it down, and throughout the day you can smell slightly the rose scent with the mixture of that leather and the woody scent as well. It is really beautiful. But as I said, I really love the Tom Ford Ombre Leather. So if you've tried that and you like it, I would say that you'll really like this fragrance as well. It lasts really well. Yesterday I wore this for about 6 to 8 hours, and when I went to take my makeup off and have a shower yesterday evening, I could still smell the scent on me. Now, one thing, when I first got this fragrance and I quickly took it out of its packet and tried it on because I was dying to see what it was like. My 21-year-old son had just arrived home. He's staying here for a few days, and I didn't show him the bottle or anything like that, and I'd had it on, and then about 10 minutes later I went out to have a chat with him in the kitchen, and he said, "What are you wearing, Mum? What is that smell?" And I said, "Oh, it's a Tom Ford fragrance." And he said, "Wow, that's really, really nice." So for my son to make a comment about a fragrance that I am wearing really says something, because normally he really wouldn't say anything. So I found that really interesting, that he really loved the scent. Now, I would say that this is definitely a unisex scent. Anyone could wear this scent. I think it is slightly masculine, but as I said, that rose definitely softens it. It is a really beautiful fragrance. It really depends what you're after. The other two fragrances, from what I've heard, and I'm not sure which is which, but one is more like a powdery type of smell, and the other one's more like of a fresh citrusy scent, but they all have that rose in them as well. So without trying any of the other two fragrances, at a guess, I would say that this one, the Rose De Rossi, would be the least floral out of the three fragrances that were released. But I am thrilled that I picked up this fragrance. I think it is absolutely gorgeous and one that I will reach for a lot. And the 3 lipsticks are beautiful. And I've been talking about the fragrance and that for a little while now. And the lipstick feels just as good as when I first put it on. As I said, it doesn't dry down. I think the pigment on these is just really, really beautiful. And I love all the shades that I picked up. I think that they're stunning, and I think the formula is really gorgeous as well. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Bye.